My name is Orazio Muratore. Born in Sicily, in the little town called Nisoria. It's in province of Enna. I came in Australia in 1955.
Perfect.
And it was 1 month on the boat. I came here 21st of the November. What's 21st of the 10, I think, 1955. Yeah.
Do you remember the name of the boat?
Neptunia. It's a big boat, and I always suffered going on to a boat on water. And for about a week, I was very sick. I would sleep on the floor because I couldn't bathe it. But after a week, everything started to go good. It didn't worry me anymore. And I had, like I said to you, I had a lot of friends on the boat, and I enjoyed all the while. The food was good, everything was good. My father came to Australia 5 years before I came. He went straight to Queensland, where his father was there earlier, 5 or 10 years earlier, and he was cutting cane. So because he knew the people there, they made a visa for him, for my father to go, and he went to Queensland and cut cane for about 5 years. So when he left me, I was only 12. He left me with all his, whatever he was doing. He had his land, he had his little donkey, dog, goats, all these things that everyone had anyway, dogs, everything. And so whatever he left, I keep going doing the same thing he was doing because though there was no other way. I was doing the wheat to make bread for the family. I was doing the olives to make the oil for the family, the tomato to make sauce. I had a little vineyard to make some wine. So I had to do all this while he was away. And 5 years later, he wanted me to come to Australia, which I said, no. I want to go to England because I had my uncle there, had the farm, they're growing vegetable under the glass. But my father said, no, I want you to come here. And I said, Dad, I come there for 5 years, and after 5 years, I want to come back. He said, yeah, we both come back. I said, okay, all right, then I come there. So I got my paperwork, my visa and everything, and I came in Australia. Before I left, I was a barber too. While I was doing the land, I was going to a barber shop to learn how to be a hairdresser, but I only was going a couple of days a week, no more. Anyway, I learned to be a barber. So when I left, my mother gave me 500 lire to spend on the boat. So, but once I got on the boat and I became friends with the boys there, before I got here, I sent her 1,500 back because I was making money cutting hair there. So I got here, so I landed near Siglaki there somewhere. That's where the whole ship went. They stopped. I come down from the ship. My father was waiting for me underneath there. And when I got my father there, I said hello to him and everything else. And I stopped for 1 minute, and I looked on my right, I looked on my left, and I said, Dad, I'm not going back to Italy anymore. I said, this got to be my country. So he said, wherever you wish. So we went home where he was living. Before that, he took me to a hotel. He bought me a schooner, a beer, which I never had beer before. Anyway, and we went home. As soon as we got home, we started thinking how I could find a job in that, So the next day, I didn't waste much time. Because I was a hairdresser, I went to look for a job. They told me there was a bloke in William Street, Sydney. It's called Angelo Di Marco. That's one of the famous hairdressers in Sydney. By the way, you believe or not, Angelo Di Marco came the same town I come from. He learned the same barbershop I learned, and he came young like I did. But he was very successful. He had a fantastic shop, probably one of the best in Sydney. All the high people, they went there for a haircut there. So I said, I'm going there to get a job. So I went there and I said hello to Angela. And after a while, he said, yeah, I'll get a job for you. He said, how much you pay your wages here? Because you're 17, I was 17 when I got here, I'll give you £7 a week. So my father said, not enough. So what we did, he said, we'll let you know. So we went back home, he said, £7, not much. So I looked for a job the next day, and I found a job where they make butter, a Lowry butter, near Central Railway, which they pay me £11 and 5 shillings. I was there. Soon I started to have friends. One of the people I knew, he knew a barber shop which he needed somebody from 3:30 to 5:30 every day and Saturday morning. So I said, I'll go. So I took the job, and I used to go from Central Railway I used to work from Central Railway to in the corner of Crown and Stanley Street, Sydney. And he paid me £5 a week. So £5 and £11.50, I was making $16.50. That's how much a good barber used to get, $16.50. I started working there. I started to have friends. I used to cut their hair. They all pay me. And so, because my father used to work on Sunday, some other place, I used to stay home. I did all my cooking, my washing, my ironing. And also, I was cutting hair a lot of paesani, the Calabrese, Siciliani, they all want to cut their hair, and I used to do it. Soon, 3 months later, there was a house for sale in Holt Street, Surrey Hill, number 40, and they wanted £1,750. I had already put away £1,300. I didn't have the other £450. I had an uncle here, which he was living in Paddington. It was my mother's brother. And he said, if you want to buy, I'll give you the $450, then you can give it to me later when you got the money. I said, okay. So he gave me the money, and I bought the house 3 months later. Anyway, so because we bought the house, so we called my mother from Italy with another 2 brothers. And they came here a year later, and no more cooking for me, no more ironing. But I was working. So I stayed in Surrey Hill for about 4 years. 3 years later, I went to work for another hairdresser in Paddington, Glenmore Road, Paddington, which I got full-time job. No more factory, no more. And I was with him for about a year. After 1 year I was with him, What happened, a cousin of mine was living in Renwick Street. So my father went to see him. On the way there, he needed to buy a box of matches. So he went to this barber shop in Renwick Street, number 6 Renwick Street, which is a coffee shop now. And when he bought the matches, my father said to the bloke, my son is a barber, you know. And he said, really? He said, yeah. Why don't you buy him a barber shop? And he said, why, you want to sell it? I said, yeah. Well, if you want to sell it, how much do you want? He said, I want 700 pounds. My father said, okay, I'll buy it. And when I go home, nighttime after I finish work, my father said to me, I bought you a barber shop. I said, what you do? I can't speak English. He said, doesn't matter. Whatever you make is okay. I said, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so I went back to where I was working. I told my boss, my father bought a barber shop for me. He said, I don't believe it. Well, I said, come, I'll show you where it is. So we got in the car. I showed him the place in Renwick Street. He said, oh, good. All right, good luck to you. So I left the job there. So I started in Renwick Street. And in Renwick Street was a lot of Australian customers, and I was Italian. One of the people said to me, he was owned by a bloke named Seth Garrett, and he had somebody working there, and he said to me, you're going to go broke here. I said, why? He said, because you Italian cut very little hair. Here we like to have short back inside. You know, the way they use now. They used to be at that time, that's the way they used to there was cutting hair. I said, that's all right, no worry. So I went and bought a big clippers. So 3 or 4 times with the clipper, it was done. It's easy. 2 weeks later, the bloke was working for me. I'm not going to work here anymore. I said, why? He said, I can't keep up with you. So he left. So, but I used to go in every morning early. So I stand in front of the door. And when I saw somebody looked like an Italian, I said, buongiorno. And he said, you Italian? I said, yeah. Oh, it's a barbershop. Yeah, I come now, have a haircut here. It didn't take long before I got a lot of people coming to me. So I started off that way, and I keep going. Then I had 2 barbers, and then I had 3 barbers. And what happened after that, we sold the house in Surrey Hills for $8,000. So with the money, I bought a shop, 403 Parramatta Road, $18,000. So I worked in Renwick Street for about 14, 15 years. And after I bought the shop, I only bought the tenant because we owned the property in 403 Parramatta Road. And it was not Frankie addressing anymore. It was Lucky Tom, with a lot of people knew Lucky Tom. We was selling cigarettes, we were selling kitchenware, and we started doing bomboniere, which is when the people got married, they give this present to the guests. And we become fairly big with that. And for many years. In the meantime, I got married. I got 3 children, and we all start to get on with life. And now my kids are all married. I got 8 grandchildren, and it's coming to the end. I'm 85 now, so I don't know how long I can still go. There's plenty more I could tell you, but that's about it.
Do you ever have the chance to go back to Italy and visit your hometown?
I went to Italy about 20 years ago, but I went for 3 months. I went to visit my old town, which you don't know anybody anymore, only 1 or 2 people. And then from there I went all over Italy, and I went around Sicily. From there I went to Argentina, I went to Brazil, I came back, I got a boat, I went all the islands here around Australia. There, you know, how they call all these islands. And that's it. I come back and start working. I'm still working. I'm not really working. I'm helping my son, that's all. Yeah, that's it.
So when you came to Australia, did you, what was it that made you say, this is where I want to stay?
I don't know. There's something came to me to say, somehow I liked it. So, and I've been working hard all my life, and I achieved. And this is a good country. I can't see anything wrong about it, you know. You're missing a few things, you're getting a few things. It's not always the same. But, you know, you have to give some things away to get some other things.